Hi, my name is Miranda Haes and I'm from New London, Iowa. I live here with my husband of 21 years and my son who's 18. We also have a daughter who lives in the state of, actually Tacoma, Washington. And then we also have a son, Chance, who lives in Illinois. So we're near empty nesters. Today I am grateful for waking up. I'm also grateful for my husband and my kids who have been the most amazing support system that anybody could ever ask for when having to go through some type of change in their life. So I wouldn't have it any other way with those. Before going whole food plant-based, I was one of those people who just ate whatever they wanted to, drank whatever they wanted to, stemming back to pre-children. I could eat whatever I wanted and not gain a pound, not have any kind of medical issue. I had a very high metabolism. I was very thin. When I graduated high school, I believe I weighed 98 pounds. So that mentality stayed with me through most of my life. I could eat anything without any repercussion and not have to worry about anything. After the birth of my first child, my daughter, I wouldn't say I had any issues with weight gain then. It wasn't until my second pregnancy, which would have put me at 26, 27 years old when I had him. I gained quite a bit of weight with that pregnancy, with my son's pregnancy. And that was kind of the beginning of the end. So 18 years ago is when I really started to put on the weight, but it was very gradual and I didn't pay much attention to it. I figured I could lose it whenever I wanted to. I did many different types of diets to try to lose some pounds. I did anywhere from Weight Watchers to keto to Atkins to all these things, that never really did anything for me. So I just kind of gave up. And in doing so, I gained a large sum of weight. I went from 98 pounds in high school to 188 pounds in July of 2019, which was very frightening for me, very scary, and I didn't know what to do with that. So that's where I guess the change occurred when we decided to change doctors, because I didn't feel like I was getting the right information from my doctor. I don't know, there was just something there. So we changed doctors, and with any new doctor's visit, you are gonna be put through blood work and a physical and all that kind of thing. So blood work was done. It was discovered that I was type 2 diabetic. Besides the type 2 diabetes, prior to that diagnosis, I had high blood pressure, fatty liver disease, eczema, sleep apnea, anxiety. I've had anxiety for a very long time, for most of my life, probably teenage years up until recently. There was just a plethora of ailments that I had. So, it's kind of scary. And when you're diagnosed with something like type 2 diabetes, which I've heard horror stories of people who have it, losing limbs and having wounds that won't heal, that was very frightening to me. So I, at that point, was willing to do whatever I could to try to change that. Initially, my doctor prescribed for me metformin. So I had to start taking metformin. And then also to do the Mediterranean diet, I had to do something different with my diet other than what I was doing, which was basically all meat, very little fruits and vegetables, mostly cheese, eggs, and meat. Shortly after my diagnosis of the type 2 diabetes, my stepson sent us a text message, my husband and I, saying we needed to check out this documentary called What the Health. So we sat down, watched What the Health, and that kind of triggered many more questions, and much of what was said in that documentary made sense. So we decided to kind of pursue it further and look, at just our dietary needs and what we've been doing and how we've been going about it. Shortly after that documentary, we found Forks Over Knives, watched over that, and I will tell you that was the catalyst that helped me decide to go whole food plant-based. In the beginning, I did do milk, cheese, eggs, that type of thing. No meat. I got rid of meat completely. Bacon was my favorite meat, especially on Sunday mornings. but I cut that out completely and, and stuck with the milk and eggs on occasion throughout the week, not like it was before where I was having them every day all the time. We watched Forks Over Knives, and that helped get us started, and then Game Changers. And since, we just keep educating ourselves. I did recently complete the certification program through eCornell, Thomas Campbell's nutrition studies on whole food, plant-based nutrition. And that was a 6-week course, and that was eye-opening and amazing, and so much information in that course. And I feel stronger and smarter, and like I have a little more behind, when I talk to people about why I eat the way that I do, I have more educated information and answers for people when that happens. When people ask me questions about it, because people are interested, they ask the question. But then sometimes you kind of get that glazed over look when you say you don't eat meat. They kind of cut out right away. They wanted to know how you got to where you were. I've lost 45 pounds in almost 2 years. It's a slow process, but that's okay. Lost the 45 pounds, and that's what they want to know. How'd you do it? You tell them you're not eating meat, and sometimes they shut down, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they want more information. So when that happens, I'm more than happy to talk to anybody who wants to know more information on it. I'm happy to say that during this journey, my husband, was very supportive of me not eating meat. He did not necessarily quit eating meat when I did, but recently, in the last probably 8 or 9 months, he's on the bandwagon with me, and well, mostly I cook, so he's kind of stuck with what I make, so that helped things a little bit. But he also, when he's out by himself, he chooses to not eat meat now, which is a huge, huge thing. Especially, there's so many men that they're just big meat eaters, and that was my husband. And the fact that he has changed his belief system and what he's doing, and is so supportive of what I'm doing, and wants to learn more and read more books and watch more documentaries. And, that has been the biggest change, besides for me, that has happened during this time. My family also has made strides to eat less meat, to eat more whole foods, more plants, which is very moving and amazing for me. When we go to family outings, which haven't been a lot because of COVID, but when there have been some, even prior to COVID, when I first started on this journey, the support that I had from the family whenever we do anything together was amazing. They went out of their way to make sure that there would always be something there. If I didn't bring it for myself, that they would have available for me that wouldn't have any of the products in them that I was avoiding and not wanting to eat. I would say the most challenging thing for me was getting rid of cheese and eggs and stopping that. Those are two of my most favorite things. And, since I started this journey, I've found out, how addictive cheese can be, and what's in cheese and why it does that to you, and which is very upsetting, I had to tell you. But, I kind of understand and I get it. And because I had that knowledge, I can make better choices when I see a piece of cheese on the counter or on a plate, with a meat and cheese tray at a party or something. I can be like, I need to avoid that. You know why you want it, but here's why you don't want it. So it's good to have that type of education, be self-educated and learn something new. Any advice that I have for people that want to take this journey is, one step at a time. You cannot beat yourself up if one day you have something that's really bad for you. It's going to happen. All you can do is, the next day, just try to be better and do better. You should never deny yourself anything to the point of destroying whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, because that just doesn't work out well for anybody in the end. So allow yourself some allowances, and do what you can, and just do the best that you can. Just don't beat yourself up about it. And make sure that you've got a great support system. It can be friends, it can be family, anybody that you trust to support you in whatever journey you decide to go on, especially if it's whole food plant-based. Not everybody's going to understand it. Not everybody's going to want to do what you're doing. And that's fine. It's up to each person what they want to do. Only you can do what's good for yourself. And I guess that would be my biggest advice for others who want to take this journey. It has been the best thing that I've ever done. I have never felt better. I'm no longer on any medications for any type of ailments. I have no ailments anymore, actually. So it's really nice. No longer have sleep apnea. No longer have high blood pressure. All of my blood work since probably 6 months into the diagnosis of the type 2 diabetes. The type 2 diabetes was gone after 6 months. My blood work showed that my fatty liver and my liver enzymes were perfect. All of my blood work was perfect. There was nothing askew, nothing was off. There was nothing needing to be changed. What I was doing was curing the illnesses that I had, and I'm not going to look back. I am so appreciative that I was given another chance, and that's how I'm looking at it. I was given another chance at life, and now I'm just going to embrace it and do what I can with it.